Hello friends, welcome to another session of video tutorial on robot framework. If you are an existing subscriber, thanks for all the support. If you are a new visitor or a regular visitor to this channel, please subscribe to this channel. To subscribe to this channel, click on subscribe button and hit the bell icon so that whenever I post a new video, you get the updates. In the last session, we have seen how to work with JavaScript alerts, multiple windows, and iframes and drop-down components. In today's session, I'm going to cover the tags as well as how to close multiple windows, and also finally we will go through how to return a value from a keyword, which I forgot to cover in the user-defined keyword part. I will copy this common components robot file and then paste it here. And this one I'm going to call it as tags return close. Okay, so we have multiple test cases here. Test case 1, test case 2, test case 3, but they're not linked together, right? So all I have done is just copied the common components robot file and then modified this particular file. After each test case, it will go back to the base URL. Okay, so let me see whether it executes first. This is the base URL. Okay, so all our test cases are passing now. Now we will introduce the idea of tags here. Okay, suppose say if I want to run only few test cases, so I can group the test cases based on some tags. Suppose say I want to run only login to Heroku app, this test case in this suite. So I have around 6 test cases in here. So I want to run only this particular test case. So all I can do is under the test case, I can add tag here with the name of the tag. Okay, so I will call it as. Okay, after adding the tag here, the next thing is to see whether we can run using that particular tag. So for that, as usual, the command would be robot followed by ---- include or hyphen include, or you can do -i, which is simplified version of hyphen include, and the tag name followed by the actual robot file, which contains suite of test cases, which in our case is tags return close robot file. Okay, so it should now run only one test case, which is login page. Okay, by just providing the tag name here, we can run that particular test case. So let us see now, and the second one. So here also I'm going to provide the same tag. So whenever I say tag name as login test, so it should execute the first 2 test cases. Okay, so I will run this and see. Okay, so this is the first test case, and then the second test case. So both of them passed. So this is how we can group them together by using tags. Okay, generally these tests will be like a regression suite or sanity tests or functional tests. And generally it will be like either sanity tests, regression tests, or functional tests. So I will tag them as sanity here, and I will tag this one as functional, and I will tag this as regression. Okay, and I will tag the other one as functional. I will tag this as functional, and this one I will tag it as sanity. Okay. Okay, so now what I have is I have 6 test cases, and out of which 2 are sanity and 3 of them are functional and 1 regression. If I want to run the test cases with multiple tags, so I can do that by using again a robot -i, and this time I want to run sanity as well as functional, and the file name will be tags robot file. So here I have provided 2 tags. So one is run sanity as well as functional test case. Okay. So this is part of sanity. Okay, so there are 5 test cases which ran, except the regression one. So there is only one regression, which is this test case 3, which didn't run. Suppose say if I want to make this particular test case as part of sanity as well as a regression, then how do I do it? Okay, so I provide another tag here. Okay, so if I say regression, then it should run test case 1 as well as test case 3 now. Okay, so instead of functional, I will say regression. I will take out sanity for the time being. You can see that now it's running 2 test cases, because this particular test case is included in sanity as well as regression. It is possible to have multiple tags attached to a particular test case. Okay, this is about tags within the test case. Suppose say if you are working on a bigger project wherein there are multiple modules and there are several test suites, and I want to run only particular module test cases. I can also use, there is something called force tags. So under settings I can provide force tags. Let us assume that this particular suite is for login functionality. Okay, login. Okay, so this is one way of forcing to run all the test cases from this particular file if I don't have these tags. Apart from these tags, we can also have these force tags, which will force to run all the test cases from this particular robot file. We can also have multiple tags here, so it's run in the same way, like robot -I. So instead of providing sanity regression, what I will provide is login, and this login is this particular tag here. Okay, and then tags test. Okay, so as you can see, it has run all the test cases here. Okay, so this is how we can make use of tags or force tags. The next thing which I wanted to talk about is closing all the browsers. Suppose say if your suite contains a test case which opens up multiple browser windows, then it is always better to close down all the browser windows. Whenever we exit, we call suite teardown, and it will go to this close down. Instead of closing just one browser window, we will close all the browser windows. Suppose say I don't have the initialize here, and then I can call this initialize in every test case. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to take out the other three test cases for time being. Okay, so what I have done here is I have commented suite setup, which is going to call initialize keyword. Instead of suite setup initialize here, inside the test case, I'm calling this initialize keyword, so that it opens up for every test case, it opens up a new window, and we will close down. We will not make any changes to suite teardown. Okay, so let's run this, and robot then just tags robot. So it's running the first test case now. Open the new window. Okay, it is opening a new window again to run the second test case. Okay, it closed down only the last window which was open. Okay, so in your test case, many times, so you would be opening up new windows or multiple windows. So it is always better to close all the windows. So instead of closing only the last window, we can make the changes to this close down keyword by changing the close browser to close all browsers. Okay, save this and rerun this. So earlier we had two browsers open. Now we shouldn't have any browsers open after the test case is complete. Okay, so let me run this again. Okay, so there are three browsers open now. The first one is closed, second one is closed, and the third one is closed. So all the test cases passed. And the last thing which I wanted to talk about is returning a value from a keyword. For this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this test case 2 and go into this resource robot file under A/B testing variation. So we store the value. So at the end, I want to return this particular text value. So to return a value, you should provide this return inside the square brackets followed by two spaces and the value which you want to return. $h3. Okay, so what this will do is whenever we call this particular keyword, so it's going to return this value. So whenever it returns a value, in this case it is A/B testing variation. So we are calling A/B test variation here. What I will do is whatever the return value, I'm going to store it in a variable. Whatever is returned from A/B testing, so I'm going to store it into return value, and I'm going to log this to log file. Okay, so I will take out the other test cases. I will comment it out and just I will run only that particular test case. Okay, save this and rerun. Okay, sorry, there is some spelling mistake here. Okay, so let me rerun this. Okay, now if I go to the log file, if I go to this log file here, then I should see the return value. Okay, so it has returned A/B test control. So if you look at H3 text is also A/B test control, and the return value is also A/B test control. So this is how we can return a value from a keyword. That is the end of this session. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, suggestions, please post it under comment section under the video. I will see you in the next video.